Sam and I started out with one simple idea. We just wanted a white wall in the garden, a curved white wall, maybe with holes in it, maybe with an entrance to the garden, just so it would look a little bit Greeky. We didn't really know what we were doing, so we just dug a trench, marked it out, and thought, we'll concrete in a base there, and then we'll put these stones on top and build a wall. How difficult can it be, right? Luckily we had Paul, Sam's dad, who helped us out and made sure we didn't go too far awry, and gave us some tips and actually helped with a lot of the major building work. The original idea was to redeck this entire area up until the lip of where the curve of the wall is. I was going to take this old decking and take it up the top of the garden to use to build a new decking area. Marking up the step up to the garden. Sam had a clear idea from the very beginning that 3 stones were going to go into this hole. This is one of our cats, Frank. Unfortunately we lost Frank partway through this project. And because of that, as the project expanded, we decided to name this area after Frank. And by the end of it, we've called it Frank's Taverna. So around about this time, Sam had this vision that she wanted to step up into the garden to include a Greek eye, and we picked up lots of these glass beads and decided that maybe if they were laid out properly, they would make a nice step up into the garden. It was around about here that we decided that the project needed to be expanded, and I thought, instead of just ending the wall here, why not have the wall come all the way down the side? And so we did. We laid another concrete foundation and started building the wall all the way along the side here, which made it more an enclosed taverna sort of area.
The building site that is Shay Newman at the moment. Oh, we've made a start. So this is going to be our taverna with the barbecue down there, water feature there, electricity plumbed in there, plugged in. Sam's made a little start with a olive tree there. couple of olives here that are going down that area. But the task for today is clearing this space, because I'm going to put some decking in this area here for these chairs and that table and that bench, which also is another project for another day.
Cleaning up the things he left behind. Have you moved to find some peace of mind? Are you?
I was originally going to use the old decking from the front of the garden where we're building the Taverna. In the end I just thought, no, that's too much, and we just bought new decking because it looked nicer.
Right, just burning off the last few bits of those little bits of wood, and actually makes it quite toasty. Makes it quite nice to sit here because, well, actually that makes it quite nice to sit here if I'm honest. But at least it's not cold either. So eventually that's supposed to that's going back to grass. Just got to get rid of those last couple of bits of wood and then we're done. Lovely.
Sam used some nice white stones here to cordon off these areas and make them just nice, tidy and very Greeky. As I mentioned earlier, we lost Frank along the way, very, very sadly. So we decided to bury him right here and make him a part of the Taverna, a part of his own Frank's Taverna. Right, we have a lining down to stop weeds coming up. So the next job that we have to do will be to put down several tons of hardcore before putting the sand and cement on top of that, before putting the tiles on top of that to make a proper Taverna floor. So it was going to be several days before we got the sand and cement down to do this, and I had this brilliant brainwave of buying a flagpole and sticking it up. I just thought it would look cool, and this is what it looks like.
Flowers are really coming out this year. Hello. You don't actually live here though, do you? You don't live here. And once we get the Taverna finished, perfect.
This was a very delicate part of the project because Paul is a perfectionist, and we had to tell him that we didn't want it to be perfect. We wanted it to look like an old wall that's been there forever. So the rougher, the better, which isn't in his nature. And I don't think he was too impressed at not having to do it as perfect as he would like. Well, to mine and Sam's eyes, this looks pretty near as damn it perfect. But if we want a white wall, we better get painting. And Sam got her 3 stones in place. The weather was so nice I couldn't help but trying out the garden before it was really ready. So there you go.
Okay, so the job today is to transfer this through here. Oh, cement. Through here. Oh, up here. Through here. And into there. And then, oh, this is the first lot, by the way, that was the second lot outside. Then a lot into there. And once it's gone into there, mix it with a bit of that. Into there. Then into there. And then onto there. And that is the start of the floor of a taverna. And that's what a taverna looks like, isn't it? Yeah, you do get a bit of a sweat on. But we're nearly there. Well, we're not really. And we'll tamp it down with that once we've got it level.
Yep, now we really have not got a clue what the hell we're doing. But I saw a bloke next door who was laying some slabs by their front door, and he used this method of dry sand mixed with cement to give it some rigidity. It would go hard, and that's what he did, and he said that would make a good base, so that was good enough for me. Right then, job done. Time to start laying some tiles in some kind of haphazard fashion, and then think about exactly where we want them sitting before we mortar them in.
Okay, so we're mixing 5 bags of sand to 1 bag of cement. Or we're actually doing 2.5 to half. So we get a sloppy mix like that. Ooh, sloppy mix. Filling in all the crooks and nannies. All the crooks and nannies. Soon be done.
The hardest thing was trying to stop the first half baking in the hot sun before we'd got it all complete, because we didn't want vacuum, we wanted it all to be in one piece, so we were constantly spraying it with the hose and covering it up from the sun, just so that hopefully it would all go off at the same time.
Okay, so here's a progress report. Most of the grouting done in the main Taverna area, but we can't go on it or tread on it for a week. We're going to leave it to go off and then tidy up the bits that are on the step. On the step on the top over there, Paul's going to do that tomorrow, and the rest of the stairs. This morning I added a base, and on top of that base Sam is going to create a Greek eye step, and there's another little hard stand in there just by the outdoor electrics. And also the bits that we dug up from there went to fill in and block the electric cable that comes around mostly. And I know it's sticking up at the moment, but by the time we've had a bit of rain, hopefully, I'll sort that out. Oh, we've decided the water feature looks nice there as well, so we're going to probably leave that there. And it'll be another week before we can actually put this furniture into the Taverna. Oh, and that archway will obviously go over the step as the entrance to the garden. Nearly there. I'm bloody knackered. I think I'm going to sit down and drink my beer. Bloody good idea.
These haven't actually been cemented in yet, they've just been laid down just so we can get an idea of what they'll look like when we do cement them in.
Hello, what's going on here? Ah, transferring from the pattern to the step.
So having built this place, how comfortable exactly is it to sit in? Wow!
Oh, that's keeping me reasonably warm. Oh, hello, Boris is back. Hello, Boris. You going inside now, are you? Well done. See you later. Sorry, that's keeping me reasonably warm. The lights have just come on the arch. The arbour lights have been on, and the olives lit up. And, oh, I'll just get me drinky. Yamas. I'm still sat outside. Which, for, what time is it? 5 to 9 in the UK is quite unusual. But it's still nice.
I'm sorry, but you cannot have a taverna without a barbecue, drinks cooler and a freezer in the garden. I mean, who doesn't have these things, right?
Don't know if you can see in there. It's 4 bottles of Prosecco, lots of Mythos, tonic, 5 bags of ice in the freezer and some glasses. Ooh, free beer tomorrow. That'll be good then. Looking forward to that. You comfy enough there, darling? Oh, that's good then.
So about cutting it fine. The grand opening of the Taverna was 1 day away, but in the meantime it was important that Samantha and I got to use the Taverna for ourselves, because this is what it's for.
So today is all about Frank. Bless him. And he's buried down there under Mussolini's tile. We've finally got the Taverna dressed and ready for people. We've got a chill cabinet full of Mythos and gins, whiskies and fizzy wine. Just hope we have some nice weather today. We've even got an ashtray up there for Fag Ashlil when she wants to come up for a cigarette. Oh, and later on, nobody actually knows it yet, we got some lights around this tree as well, so we'll see what that looks like when it's lit up later. The only trouble is on a video you can't smell the food. And Sam's got some fantastic food being cooked at the minute. Those meatballs smell amazing.
And so there we are. We eventually got our Greek Taverna, and very pleased we are with it too. But unfortunately, time moved on, and after a month or two, we had to pack everything away and close for the season.
Fortunately, all closed up for winter. Flag's still flying there. Still putting food out for the birds. And we're nearly going to get. We haven't quite got a fence. We've nearly got a fence. We've got some though. And this. Oh, put the trail camera there. We've got some good footage. Hopefully that'll point down towards the hedgehog house, which even late October, nearly November, is still being used. Sam's cleaned it out, put fresh food down, and every day the hedgehog is coming along and taking some, so we know it is being used. And I'm going to sit down with a glass of wine in front of the warmth and enjoy the last of this summer. This summer? Alright, autumn. It's nearly bloody winter.